It's Wrestling Wednesday, and this is the third of 3 matches uploaded today. This is King of Colosseum 2, one of the greatest Japanese wrestling games of all time, and in it we have 2 of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time, Kobashi versus Misawa, one of the classic matches from 2003. There will be elbows, suplexes, DDTs, chops, and loads more, so let's get wrestling. Well, greetings ladies and gents, my name is The Adipose and this is Wrestling Wednesday, and in the third of our 3 videos today we are going to King of Colosseum 2, which is a classic Japanese wrestling game, and 2 of the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time, Misawa, who is in the green and white shorts, the green and white trunks, versus Kenta Kobashi, who is currently wearing the black with the blue-purple trim round the edges. Now these 2, unfortunately neither of them wrestle anymore. Kobashi retired a month or so ago after a long history of injuries of knees, and Misawa sadly is no longer with us. He died a few years ago, actually in ring, but both of their bodies of work are absolutely incredible, and if you haven't ever seen them wrestle, do check out some of their matches on or YouTube or another source, because they are well worth checking out. Misawa is the master of elbows. He uses them throughout his matches, running elbows, standing elbows, spinning elbows, roaring elbows, diving elbows, smashes, and Kobashi is the king of the chops, floor chops, side chops, corner chops, diving chops, you name it. Misawa is a bit more of the high flyer. He actually started his career as a junior heavyweight, or a lightweight as they might be called elsewhere, and then progressed up to the heavyweight division by kind of bulking up partway through his career when he saw the possibilities of being successful at a higher division. Misawa and Kobashi together were the founding fathers of Pro Wrestling Noah, which is the wrestling federation that uses the green ring that you can see here, which has been one of the more successful Japanese wrestling federations, but since losing its TV deal a few years ago has been struggling a lot, so much so actually that a lot of the big stars that initially started with Noah have now left, have either retired, died, or moved on to other wrestling organizations. But that doesn't take away from the fact that they have put on some amazing matches in the past. And there goes our first Powerball half Nelson suplex from Kobashi, with Misawa managing to kick out on a 2 count. These 2 had one of the greatest matches of all time, as Misawa probably dives for a plancha there, in 2003, which was the part of Kenta Kobashi's celebrated 2-year title reign, which is CM Punk's title reign of a year, and was it 400 days or so, was fantastic. But the longest reign of the modern era does actually belong to Kobashi, 2002 to the end of 2003, I think it was. Obviously he defended his title a lot less than CM Punk. I think CM Punk probably defended most months, whereas Kobashi I think had something like 12 title defenses total, something like that. But the match quality was absolutely incredible, as he goes for a half Nelson suplex off the apron, but Misawa says no and attempts to climb the turnbuckle. But Kobashi's not having any of that. Now this is an older game now, and it's starting to show its age in terms of graphics and things like that, and some of the animations look a bit clunky. But where this game really comes into the fore is the gameplay, and in the grapples especially, because there isn't actually just a roaring elbow there from Misawa knocking Kobashi out of the ring completely. Misawa now going for a running diving elbow smash and catching Kobashi in the back of the head. Kobashi completely no-selling it, and then delivering a string of strikes to the back of Misawa's head. Misawa going for his patented tiger driver, but Kobashi flipping him back over. Anyway, the grapple system in this game is quite incredible. Rather than just having one grapple in which you previously select a move, it has a whole range of grapples, and the grapples all look like the start of a move. So, for example, there's like a suplex grapple or a powerbomb grapple, or like you just saw there, a Tiger Driver grapple, which is kind of like the start of Triple H's pedigree. This is the DDT grapple, and what you need to do is at a certain point when the knees bend, you have to press a button, and the player that gets the most accurate button press gets the move, and this leads to some wonderfully tight exchanges. So here we'll go for a suplex, but Misawa managed to time the second button press better, and therefore he got the reversal. There is a little bit of game help there as well. So, for example, if I was to go for a running power bomb as in the first 2 minutes of the match, the game would then automatically counter those. And in fact, that half Nelson suplex, German suplex held on from Misawa, 1, 2, and kick out. If I was to go for a very big move early in the game, it would automatically counter it for me. In fact, there's an automatic counter there, failing to get the Tiger Driver, and Kobashi absolutely leveling Misawa with a huge chop and going for the cover again. The crowd starting to get excited, and Kobashi going for another half Nelson suplex, but failing. Misawa going on behind and hitting a release German suplex of his own. Japanese wrestling often features a lot more behind moves than American wrestling does. Dragon suplexes, half Nelson suplexes, a lot more things like German suplexes, there's a half Nelson suplex there. You do see the occasional German suplex in WWE and things like that, but it's quite rare, as they are actually quite dangerous moves. People often kind of land on their heads and stuff, but quite a feature of Japanese wrestling, and another good strong 2 count from Kobashi as the match heads towards its conclusion. Misawa, very much known for his elbow strikes. In fact, most of his big matches in the later part of his career were either won with the Emerald Frozen, which is kind of like a power slam into a DDT, and half Nelson suplex again countered. Chop avoided, little kick there, gone for a suplex, countered again by Misawa. Most of his matches were run with huge elbow smashes, some of them running variations, and in one particular case I remember he faced Marishma and literally just got on top of the poor guy and smashed the crap out of him with elbows over and over again, and there was a powerball running elbow smash finisher, followed by a dragon suplex hold, 1, 2, and a kick out from Kobashi. Misawa very much now trying to string his moves together to get the finish. There's the Tiger Driver we missed earlier. 1, 2, and another 2.9. Kobashi close to death now if Misawa can deliver the final blow. There's the Powerball Emerald Frozen holding it on. This is probably it. 1, 2, and 3 count from Misawa. Time of the match 14 minutes 17, although King of Colosseum 2 does use an extended clock. Hope you have enjoyed this little look at King of Colosseum 2. Obviously, if you've played it before, you'll know all about it, but if not, it's well worth checking out if you can find a copy. And if you've got any questions, obviously do stick them in the comment section. I'm more than happy to chat about them, as this was a big passion of mine probably about 10 years ago now. I've got most of the Japanese wrestling games of this particular era, and nice touch as well to have a match rating. The Noah crowd loves seeing its 2-stop Noah stars head off, and we got 93%. Do check out the other videos that came up for today's Wrestling Wednesday: CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar, and the most evil choke slam you have ever seen. And do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for wrestling videos, let's plays, tutorials, mods, and loads more. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.